Hi, it's Lee and welcome to the Tesla Economist. That's right, as I'm sure all of you have heard, that on Tesla's Investor Day, Master Plan Part 3 will finally be presented. We've been promised the plan for some time, and the wait will soon be over. This will likely set the stage for Tesla over the rest of the decade. I think it's pretty much inferred by most that the overarching theme of the plan will be about scalability. Tesla have set massive targets for themselves, such as production at 20 million units a year by 2030, and equivalent levels when it comes to energy too. As exciting as these objectives are, they mean considerably more if there is a path to achieving them. That is what I believe Master Plan Part 3 will be mostly about. How Tesla are going to reach these objectives and what is required in order to do so. So what specifically do I expect we might hear? Well, for mass EV adoption and scalability, we need a lower cost EVs that can be produced at a faster rate. Therefore, I expect the third generation platform to be mentioned. Perhaps we'll get some specifics. Now, Elon did give us a teaser of what we might expect at Investor Day, with a big Tesla logo in the background, which now appears to be pretty much confirmed that these are stamps from the Model Y. And in the image, we're seeing them at a massive scale, again indicating more about scaling. But what if it goes further, and is perhaps when Tesla introduce a single casting, which may very well be what this third generation platform is about. Rather than a structural battery pack stamps front and rear casting, perhaps Tesla have been able to consolidate further their castings, reducing more processes and parts. Okay, basically, I just really hope to see more about this next generation platform, especially given that we were told it would cost half of what a Model 3 costs. And if we want to see scaling for autos, then we all know Tesla really does need a lower cost model. So it may be the platform that we're shown, similar to on Battery Day how we were shown the front and rear castings, along with the structural battery pack, and how they all fit together, although at the time the vehicle did not exist. Perhaps we might get a similar preview of how all that comes together too. Or perhaps we might get even more, possibly a preview of the new vehicle. This is most likely going to be a compact version of a Tesla, but what everyone wants to know is, will it be one that is for sale for the public, or will it be a purpose-built robotaxi? Perhaps we might finally get the answers we've been seeking for that. Some people are also speculating it might actually be the van, but personally I think that Tesla are really looking at the mass scale vehicle now, Tesla's equivalent of Ford's Model T. Even with the massive price cuts we've recently seen across the current model lineup, and with tax credits, not everyone can still afford a Tesla. This Model 2, as people like to refer to it, will be the car for the masses, one way or another. Whether it costs $25,000 to buy or 10 cents a mile to be driven, this will be the big one. Hence why I think it is very likely to be mentioned as part of the Master Plan Part 3. But like I said at the start, it's all very well having these targets and showing future products, but it's also important to show how they can be achieved. If there is a vehicle like this, then it will likely be in production at around 4 or 5 million units a year. That is quite a lot. So much so, there simply is not enough resources currently. The bandwidth for EV production is simply not wide enough to cater to that level yet. And this is the other major part of what I believe Master Plan Part 3 will be about, the supply chain. How will Tesla get all the materials and elements for such scale? Elon has mentioned that Tesla may get into the mining business themselves, possibly nickel, but mainly I think it will come down to lithium. Lithium refining is going to be the number one limiting factor when it comes to scale. Elon has mentioned how they've discovered better, lower cost, cleaner ways of mining lithium, and lithium is indeed actually an abundant element. It is just the refining of which takes so long and is capital intensive. However, Tesla are starting their own lithium refinery in Texas. Elon claims it will only take 2 years until it's up and running, although people in the industry say it usually takes 7 years. So that will definitely be something to keep an eye on this decade. Tesla have no choice but to take lithium refining into their own hands. Pretty much all of it is done in China currently, and as demand for lithium-ion batteries continues to increase exponentially, it starts to become a real bottleneck. Although the lithium required for refining LFP cells is not as difficult or costly a process due to the lower energy density in the cells. Progress is also being made with sodium-ion cells, but I get the impression Tesla are really looking at lithium for their cells, at least at this stage. Although perhaps Elon will mention new chemistries they're considering for the cells, possibly going into manganese cathodes, which would be a real sweet spot for so many applications, but we're just not there yet. But there is a chance perhaps they might mention a Tesla in-house LFP cell. This would be a really big deal, and I've often said the most exciting event for me would be another battery day where Tesla announced their LFP cell and what they're capable of achieving there. Elon's even said in the past that he expects about 2/3 of vehicles to be using LFP cells. Now, if we're talking about scaling and a low-cost, high-volume production vehicle, then you might assume that it would be using LFP cells. However, Elon has also said on 2 occasions that they will not be making 4680 form factor LFP cells, which may be understandable as the 4680 factor was designed for nickel cells. LFP comes with different properties and advantages. For example, the 4680 might have well been designed more around thermal management, and the LFP cells may not need to as much, and can be more designed around production speed, perhaps a larger form factor, but that's very speculative. And if they're mentioning LFP cells and 2/3 of vehicles will use LFP, then it will be likely about 100% of energy storage will be using LFP. LFP is ideal for energy storage due to the fact the cells are stationary. The energy density or weight is not a factor. Elon tells us how much energy storage is going to be required, so again, I expect us to be told a path on how this can be achieved. Iron is abundant, so I doubt Tesla have to start mining iron. I think it will come down more to how they're going to manufacture so many cells. There is likely abundant iron and lithium in the world to achieve this, but again, that lithium needs to be processed, so hopefully we're given an idea of just how much lithium Tesla are aiming to refine with their new refinery. And as the refinery is in Texas, it is still a relatively close proximity to Mexico too. It looks fairly certain that Tesla's next factory may very well be near Mexico City, so perhaps this factory will also be mentioned, and we're shown what this new facility might very well be used for. It was rumoured to cost around $10 billion, which would mean it's of an insane size. Given the building in Texas alone cost $1.1 billion, just think how much further 10 times that budget would go in Mexico. In fact, we might hear more about Texas expansion plans too. Supposedly, we're only about 1/5 the way done on that site. Obviously, we're going to see some expansion in Giga Nevada that has already been mentioned. Master Plan Part 3 is going to be about thinking big, so we would expect a really big building to coincide with that thought. I'm not sure what else might be mentioned, perhaps some FSD targets, and perhaps the Gen 3 design more oriented around a robotaxi. I'd love to hear more details on that. I have so many theories as to what that car could be. One is that it would possibly just have 3 seats and be more designed around single passenger use. Also, with all Tesla have learned about FSD and all the data they've collected over time, they can now use that to design a car specifically around that. We could get an update about robots too, and maybe something about expanding their solar, which really needs to be a major part of the renewable future. Then possibly we may even get to see a new Tesla product that has nothing to do with autos or energy. Perhaps the product that was hinted at on the earnings call that still uses 4680 cells. Anyway, that's my take on what we might expect to see. Let me know in the comments what you also expect. Thanks for listening. Please hit the thumbs up and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter and talk to me on Patreon.